So Duffy gets a camera and he rolls the shit at 120 frames. We shoot this in Toronto. It's in the dead of winter. It's like 50 below fucking zero or some shit. My sun-dried raisins are up in my neck somewhere searching for warmth. And they come out, so the wardrobe department comes out with these two little, like, they look like drawstring baggies that you have marbles in. You remember when you were a kid? Or like, you know, the mystical witches that carry like crystals and stuff like that, you know? And she goes, you know, so we made these, and you can put them around your privates if you don't want anybody to see. And I was like, are you, what? You want to drawstring up my junk? It's freezing, first of all. I mean, shit's hardly there. So, it's 20 degrees, she hands them out, and Ritas comes to me, and Ritas goes, so, Flanery, you gonna wear that thing? I was like, yeah, no. I'm gonna wear it. So Ritas goes in the back, and he's in the bathroom, and I'm in there talking to him the whole time, and his back to me is like, and he's cinching this fucking thing up tight, right? So Ritas has his little baggie on, and he goes out to shoot the scene, and he's walking all like this so it doesn't fall off, and it's freezing, and he's like, all right, he's got his little baggie around his manhood and everything, and I'm laughing my ass off. So Duffy shoots this shit, slow motion, the camera starts screaming in on Norm, and he's shampooing his hair, like the minute they say action, Ritas is like, doing this shit, the baggie falls off. The baggie falls off at the same time the little slippery Irish Spring goes ding. No shit, Ritas fucking panicked. That dude is reaching for the front like trying to grab this slippery thing of soap. One of the hair guys, I didn't even know there was a hair guy. We had like 2 chicks that did hairstyling, I'd still know him by name. This guy rushes in and he's like, I got it! Me and Ritas were both like, who the fuck is that guy? He grabs Ritas' pouch, he's like ready to put it back on so we can continue filming. And I've seen that footage, 120 frames of Ritas butt fucking naked, the Jimmy Johnson flapping in that 30-degree wind, and the look of sheer panic on his face. Because there's like 20-something people out there like around the set. He was like covering that shit up. The minute that thing fell off, you saw, oh my God! That shit really happened. Brother, it's a steel trap. And shepherds we should be for thee, my lord, for thee. Power hath sent forth from my hand that our feet may swiftly carry out thy commands. We should flow over the fort to thee, and team with souls let ever be. And on we path to feel the spirit just like I should do auctions, right? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. What's your name? What is it?
Megan.
Good Irish name. What's your husband's name?
Jordan.
I'm Jordan.
Jordan.
And I don't mind. Please, serenade my wife.
Megan. There's love, honor, and there's obey, and that's reciprocated. But let me tell you that the things that fall into the category of honor is fucking everything. So you honor that boy like he never been honored before. God bless you and Godspeed, sweet pea. Hey, name it Connor, by the way. Who's next? It doesn't just straddle partisan lines. I think it's something that everybody agrees with. You know, I don't think everybody heard that story that was on the news a while ago about that husband and wife. They were like 34 and 29, and they had an 18-month-old daughter that they sold for guys to come in and have sex with. And they're in prison eating 3 meals a day with our tax dollars. Raise your hand if you like the fact that you're giving them hot meals a day. There's nobody fucking in here like that. So it doesn't straddle partisan lines. It's like, wow, that person shouldn't be out on bail. They should fucking die. There's a couple cats in, what was it, Chicago, that like had 2 wives living in a basement, chained, and they had children with them and everything. Remember those 2 cats? Yeah. They're 300 meals a day. They're out in the yard lifting weights. It's like, wow. That's why, because it's not a liberal conservative issue. It's a right and fucking wrong. It's that kind of conscience. You know what's funny? It's like, without getting politics into it, it's like we all something called a conscience. You know it. It's the do right rule. You know when you're doing some shit that's fucked up. You just do. And I think it plugs into that. It plugs into what everybody wants. And it's, you know, it's a line in it. You know, he said they should be in every city and every town. You know? There's just a lot of shit that people want sorted out immediately. And the cats went and did it, you know? I think that's kind of universal. My 2 cents. I'll call him right now. If he picks up, we'll stick his ass on. But in the meantime, who wants another?
It's only a 2-hour flight.
Who's got another question?
Hi, my question is for Rocco.
Shh, read it. No.
So, back when you first got on Twitter, we exchanged a couple of DMs, and I asked you.
Flanery. Later, hoping I got a good story for you too. He may call us back as soon as he gets a break. Go ahead. Well, can I call you back? I'll call you back. My mom.
I really didn't think about it. I didn't even know there'd be a 2. That's funny.
Now let me tell you, one time we were in a car driving from the airport. We just landed in St. Louis. And we're riding along, it's silent, just watching shit pass through the windows. And Rocco looks at me and goes, Sean, did you know that in St. Louis they have the Bowling Hall of Fame? I said, no, Rock, that's cool. Do you bowl? No. And then he'll come up with some shit like about economics. He's like, do you really believe in Keynesian trickle down? I'm like, whoa! That's a fucking mad scientist.
And then what made you decide to pick to be in powder?
You know, let me dispel the myth right here. There's very few times that any actor picks and chooses, and I'm certainly not one of those actors. I mean, let's be honest, the things that you get offered are offered because you probably don't want to do them. You know, I'll show you the wizard behind the curtain. You know, it would be wonderful. You all right, brother? Oh. It would be wonderful if we got to go, you know, I read that, I'm going to be doing that one. I'm going to be doing this one. But, you know, it's a long campaign. I read the script. I absolutely fell in love with it. And I know that they wanted some big names that they went after. And I think, you know, thank goodness that they turned them down. And I think I was #1 on their list of the people that actually auditioned for it. But it was a long, arduous campaign. I'd never read a script like that. And in my opinion, those roles are the roles why you get into the business, you know? And you're lucky enough if it comes around once, much less like twice. But I'm very proud of that film, and it was an effort to get that. It wasn't like I'm such a hero I get to choose, by no stretch of the imagination. I was very lucky to get to work with that talent and crew and director and that kind of writing. It was a wonderful experience. You're welcome. We got time for 2 more, guys. implies that I sounded like a fucking singer. Tease, John, tease. None, you know, I mean, it's, when people say, hey, can you sing? You know, I think that's pretty subjective, obviously, right? I think it's just cool to tell people that, yeah, you know, my single drops on iTunes on Wednesday. You know, that's kind of cool, but it's kind of like a weird rap talking that I do, you know? So, I mean, clearly those guys are musicians, and they help me out a lot with, you know, the way that we recorded it and everything, because it's foreign to me. And it was wonderful to work with that caliber of guys, but they were in there doing Cirque du Soleil vocal stuff. You know, I'm literally just kind of like, that's the song, like, tears, John, tears. You know, and it's kind of neat to be in a recording studio and see the end result of that. But those guys, they do it for a living, you know? My trailer was next door to Paul Sorvino. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but he's like a trained classical opera singer. I mean, like Pavarotti type of stuff. And he would warm up his voice next door in the trailer, and I was like, who is the singer next? And it was fucking Paul Sorvino. It like blew my mind that like the same Paul that I know from, you know, the you know, that it was had this opera voice, but he's amazing. You know, the whole cast could sing. I was like the least singing person on that whole cast, so it was a neat time for me. You will. Yes.
Hi. So, how much drinking did you guys actually do on set? And what was your favorite drink? And of course, the pregnant woman asked this question, right?
Yes.
9 months ago, Jaeger.
God bless you. Congratulations too, by the way. Rock.
A lot of drinking. A lot of whiskey. Yeah. We were all right.
One good drinking story.
Like Duff would do stuff like that, like not even have the camera running and have us, like he'd get the first shot and would be drinking and then go, okay, again, take another drink, again, take another drink, again.
Let me tell you this, on Boondock 1, me and Rita stayed in a hotel where we first went, and it was in Toronto. And Duffy and like 50 of the dudes of his buddies rented a house. And Rock was there too. And occasionally me and Rita would drift by there. And they had a jacuzzi in the backyard of this house. And it'd be Duffy, guitars, shots, Jack bottles, chicks everywhere. It was like, I mean, it was like me and Rita, as fucked up as me and Rita are, we were like, we gotta fucking leave this place, man. This is ugly shit going down right here, man. And fucking Rock's in the center of the jacuzzi going, what's up? That motherfucker would be like, drinking? No, we didn't fucking drink.
I was wondering, since it's my 18th birthday today, can I get a hug?
Are you 18 already?
Yes.
Okay. Jump up here. I'm kidding. Yeah, guys, we got telling you how to do anything, but there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that helped me enormously, health-wise and martial arts and lifestyle, and it's really just a collective of a bunch of people that are trying to change their life for the better. So everybody, if you haven't, check it out, shineuntiltomorrow.com.